country. We're going to keep our country. We will save this country. And the Lord said, go get some reinforcements. Build yourself an army. And boy, let me tell you, did I. And if people think that we're going to stop fighting for our freedom and liberty, they got something coming. Woo, coming in hot today. Guys, I haven't gone live in a while. I've been busy. We've been busy getting things together, gearing up for this this upcoming 2024 and everything else, guys. So we've just been busy, and it is what it is. And so anyhow, we have a lot to talk about today. I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on Twitter. Facebook has me banned. Shocker. Looks like I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties with Rumble, but I think we're going to be okay. But we are streaming on Getter, and Getter is always better. So it's going to look like we don't have anybody watching, but if you go to Getter, I guarantee you we will. And Twitter, you're going to be able to see us on Twitter as well. So anyhow, guys, we've got a great panel today, and I'm going to bring in some of my guests. We're going to talk about, it is Hispanic Heritage Month and what is going on, right? So why are my settings so bad? Let me see here, guys. All right. Hopefully this clears it up there. There we go. I don't have my hands kind of going everywhere. But anyway, so we are definitely a lot going on. It's Hispanic Heritage Month. We got Build Back Better is now Build Back Broke. We've got an open border. We've got Democrat mayors coming out in all kinds of cities, El Paso, Eagle Pass. We got Henry Cuellar out in Laredo calling for deportations now. It's hilarious to watch these Democrats now after they told us that we were being too insensitive to the immigrants, which is they're not immigrants, guys. They are illegal aliens. And so, so anyway, we're sitting here faced with all of this Biden's disaster. So not only are we suffering, housing is about to crash. I've got realtors telling me they can't sell. Interest rates are high. People can't buy. And so, yeah, we've got all kinds of issues. So I'm going to have an awesome, panel here. And I'm going live kind of on a day I don't normally go live. So anyway, we're getting back in the swing of things. And this podcast is also going to be featured on Freedom First Network, I believe. I hope I didn't chop that up. But anyhow, guys, okay, welcome to my panel today. The one and only Mr. Luchador.
Bianca, hey Bianca, how are you, mi hermana?
I'm good. Listen, Mr. Luchador, you're going to have to be very nice because I have other people on the panel and you're going to have to let them speak too. So
man, hey,
I know you got a lot to say. You got a lot to say, but hold on a second. Let me bring on my own other friend in Florida, Glenn Parada.
Thank you for having me on.
And it's going good. And it looks like I got someone else backstage, but for some reason, they're not connected. It says they're not connected. So I'm going to let them know they're not connected. Guys, what is freaking going on? It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and we've got numbers coming out that all these Hispanics are moving over to the GOP. I forgot to talk about that on Newsmax as record number, Hispanics coming to GOP. I was at the SREC meeting this past weekend, and they said in Texas alone we're having a record number of Hispanics signing up to run for office. So there's all this polling going on, this rhetoric, and I know each of you are going to have something to say about that. So I'm going to start, Glenn, I'm going to start with Luchador because I know he's dying to say something. Luchador is dying to say something. And we haven't been on, Luchador.
I know we've been busy, Bianca, but I know you're out there putting the fight, and I'm all over here fighting the fight as well every day in my community, Bianca. But you know what? All of these polls, that are now coming out, and as always, they're citing the African American vote and they're citing the American Hispanic vote. We're not. Hey, man, we're American Hispanics. We're not Hispanic Americans. You got that? We got to switch that around. We got to be the first to start calling ourselves what we really are. We're American Hispanics because we've been here since the beginning, man. Okay? No more hyphenation. We're American who are Hispanics. Does that make sense? But we're Americans. Y se acabó el pedo on that, man. I'm tired of hearing everything else, all right, man? We're American Hispanics. So the American Hispanic vote.
We're American Hispanics, but a lot of people have still migrated here. So what do you have to say to them? I mean, do we,
Well,
once you cross over, you're American. End of story.
They're immigrants. They're immigrants. But the moment they become an American citizen, guess what? You're an American. Y se acabó el pedo. All right, man? American Hispanics. That's what we are. We're American Hispanics. All right. We've been fighting for this freedom in this nation since the inception. Okay. And they now know that from Galvez, who helped defeat the British in Florida and the Gulf Coast, all the way up there to the 60 Hispanic Medal of Honor winners that have been winning the Medal of Honor since Gettysburg. Are you kidding me? But where does Hollywood? How about anybody? Nobody does that. In fact, Obama allegedly did this entire documentary on Medal of Honor recipients, and guess who he left out? He left out all the Hispanic Medal of Honor winners in that documentary that Obama did. He didn't name one. And Hispanics are the most decorated minority group in the nation. More Hispanics have won the Medal of Honor. And did Obama do that? Oh, yeah, but any Latino who thinks Obama is not racist against us is a lie. Lying, can't open his eyes. Obama and all the Democrats are racist, period, okay? Because how dare he have a documentary showcasing minority Hispanic Medal of Honor recipients, and not one Latino Medal of Honor recipient was showcased in that documentary? Are you kidding me? These are the things that we need to bring out, people. These are the things that need to bring out. Now, let's get back to the polls. The fact that Latinos, American Hispanics, American citizens of Hispanic ethnicity are allegedly saying in the polls that they're going to now vote for Republicans has nothing to do with Republican outreach, has nothing to do with Republican messaging, has nothing to do with Republican leadership. It has everything to do with even Hispanics can see what a horrible president Biden is. Because you and I both know, Bianca, that Romney McDaniel has done nothing with the billions of dollars that she has gotten, all because of Trump, but has done nothing to do any reasonable, fair, and effective outreach to the American Hispanic community. And you know that. Nothing.
I know, and I knew you had a mouthful. I mean, Luchador, you always bring it, man. You got your perspective. You're like, we're going to the ring, man. I feel like I have to get in the ring.
Hey, man, I don't play. I don't do no rope-a-dope. I don't do rope-a-dope, man. I go for it, man. All right, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I got one other guy on. I got two other guys. Listen, we all got something to say. So I want to listen. Glenn is out in Florida, but he's from El Salvador. Am I? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
So you got a perspective of all the El Salvadorians that are here and what's going on. And then I want to bring my other buddy, Rolando Rodriguez, here as well, who have perspective. So hold on a second, Rolando. I'm gonna go around the room here. Glenn, what is going on in Florida? I mean, Luchador is like nailing it, but what is your perspective on an El Salvadorian, American, Hispanic, Latinos? What is going on? What's going on with your community? What is your people from your country saying? What's going on?
A lot of people say that the Republicans or conservatives are only Cubans or Puerto Ricanos, but they leave out all Central America, right? So there's a lot of Central Americans that we've always been conservative, but they're paying attention more to politics. I just came back from El Salvador, as you know, and you know what I saw over there? I saw what America has lost and what the liberals are trying to completely eradicate, and that's family, God, They still get up on Sundays and go to church. They still do family time, and they're trying to destroy that. They destroy the family, the father, the mother, the whole structure of marriage. And if they get away with that, there is no America. So to see that in El Salvador, and I'm pretty sure you see that in South America and Central America, which is confusion when they come here and they vote the opposite, right? They're not just being educated, but it's true. Lucharo's right. It's not about the outreach that's going on, because we're already conservative. Is that we're starting to become aware of, wow, these eggs, these milks, these rates, these prices are expensive. What's going on? It's starting to look like back in our country when the government's taking advantage of us. So now we're paying attention. So I think it's up to us to really start educating nuestra gente and let them know what's really going on in politics. Because how many times have we heard people say, I don't get into politics, that's not for me. But when it starts hitting their pockets, when it starts hitting their children, when they're taking the rights away from the parent, now they're starting to pay attention to that, because it's not politics anymore. Now it's more than that. Now it's right and wrong. Now it's good versus evil. So this is why we're speaking up.
That's good. These are good points. You're absolutely right. Luchador and I have talked about that. When they go after the family unit, they're destroying, anything that's God in family unit, so that they can destroy everything else. I want to take a time here real quick to go to Rolando out in South Texas, out by the border. Rolando, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. What is our community saying? What's happening, right now with the open border? It's a disaster, as you know. It's been a disaster since 2021, Jen. As soon as Biden went into the White House, it was full reign, open border. Everybody come on over, crossing the river at all areas. We're having to, the state of Texas is spent billions of dollars telling us they're securing the border, but it doesn't look secure to me. So, Rolando, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. What do you got to say?
Thank you, Bianca, and thanks to everyone. I think this is a great show. And my prayer is that these kind of shows go, to our Hispanic community, because I believe that the number one thing that we'll continue doing, or what we should be doing, is educating people. Our people needs to be educated in the political realm, and regarding the border. Few days ago, in one day, in the Eagle Pass area, about 10,000 people came in one day, and it's been like that. There was a big community from Haiti across the border in Reynosa. I went like a couple of months ago there, and it was full of people, from Haiti. They're not there anymore. They already, crossed the border. They're on this side. So things are bad, real bad down here, and we need to educate our community with our vote, with our prayer first for the nation and for the country, but secondly, with our vote. If we if we would be able to share these kind of messages throughout our Hispanic community, because we are conservative by nature, but we are being lied by Telemundo, Univision, and all the Hispanic channels, and people don't investigate. So that's when we make the big mistake in voting on the wrong side. But we need to continue voting for educating our community. And just a little more, Bianca. Last night, I went to visit my mom, and she had Univision, and I really hate Univision. I hate Telemundo, because they've been lying to us. But anyway, I watched the news last night, and it was so amazing to see this old lady, this Mexican old lady, in a van selling tacos. And she was saying, they asked her, what do you think about Joe Biden? And she said, oh, he's wrong. The nation is going down the scene because of him. We need Trump back. And she said, I am barely making a living. But when Trump was in office, I was doing great. And this is an old Hispanic lady selling tacos on the street.
Yeah. Well, they have to resort to that now more so because the economy is so bad. You got to do what you got to do, to make a living. You know,
Hmm.
here's the thing. So it's a resonating thing. Glenn, I hear you. I hear Rolando, Luchador. We talk about the education of our communities, right? But if we have Telemundo who's against us and Univision who's against us, and we have, some platforms obviously that, but we don't have the big, massive audience. And education seems to be a common denominator in how we're going to get out the vote and how we're going to continue to educate our communities about how to vote for the right people. So, my finance director has been asking, donors to, because our organization has always been about education. And we've been asking the donors to donate this whole year, get us ready for 2024. And the common feedback I got was, we're not going to give to Hispanic organizations because y'all don't vote. So if the RNC, Luchador, I'm going to take this to you. If the RNC isn't putting any money into our communities, and they're not educating, and they don't have us in the table, and they don't have us on the airways, and we don't represent those the RNC, Republican National Committee, if we don't have people sitting there representing us, if we don't have people sitting at the, state levels representing us, how in the world are we supposed to educate people? And the donors are telling us they're not going to give money because we don't vote. So how are we going to fix any of this? I'm gonna go get Luchador. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna go back to Glenn. I'm gonna go back to Rolando. So Luchador, how are we going to do what we need to do, Luchador? How are we gonna solve this?
I think somebody needs to wake up that pendeja Ronna McDaniel Romney over there, because she's unbelievably insane. And I use that word because she does the same thing and expects a different result. That is a classic definition of insanity, right? And she
Right.
does the same thing. They spend millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars every election cycle going after the black vote. When they vote 99% Democrat, they go after that vote that is, look, man, if the Republican Party lost the black vote after freeing slavery in this nation, right? After abolishing slavery in this nation, if the Republican Party lost the black vote, what in the hell do they think they're ever going to get the Hispanic vote without at least doing some culturally relevant messaging to us, man? And how about investing in us? What is it, like 20-30% of Hispanics vote Republican, right? Well, who's got the better return on your investment? Let's be honest. And who do you think is going to give you a better return on your investment? Because you know what? The African American commercial that used to run all the time was, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Do you remember that commercial? They would see that, right? A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Well, you know what?
Right.
The African American community, unfortunately, has sold its soul, has sold itself, has sold themselves into the slavery of Democrat freebies. So to the African American vote, unfortunately, their new mantra is, a freebie is a terrible thing to waste. And they're never going to vote themselves out of the freebies. Now, they're trying to do the same thing to our people. So no sean pendejos, man, because they're trying to do the same thing to our people. They're indoctrinating them, and they're getting them addicted to freebies, welfare, Medicaid, Medicare. They're getting them all addicted to that as well. This is how they do it. This is how Democrats gets people into the, oh my God, into
The plantation.
I hate to say it, but thank you for saying it, man. That's how they have kept the African American communities in the plantations that are now known as what? Ghettos. That are now known what? They're doing the same thing to Hispanics. They're putting us in through welfare. They're putting us into public housing in the barrios, right? And keeping us addicted and making us addicted to freebies. Man, that is the entire bane of this nation, is welfare. That's the bane of this nation. And look, man, as Hispanics, we have a work ethic. We're against el flojo. We make fun of those flojos, right? We do, right? Oiga, man, are you kidding me, man? In my family, man, if I ever gave my hand out, put my hand out for a government freebie, do you know what my dad and my grandfather would have done to me? For God's sakes, my grandfather and my father never took one penny from the government because they said, "Esa esclavitud. That's slavery." They recognized it from the get-go, man. Even when times got bad for me financially, for me and my family, we were during the Obama administration and that record recession that we had, we were devastated financially. But I never took one penny of the government's money, not one. And they were offering me everything free, for God's sakes. And I didn't take one penny, and I'm proud to say that I didn't take one damn penny from the damn government because I knew what that was all about. So they got to, number one, wake up and understand that if they're going to make any inroads into any minority community, I'm talking to you, Republican Party, they need to start investing in the Hispanic community now. Not on Univision and not on Telementiras, Telemundo, but they need to do it. They need to do it 100% in the acculturated Hispanic community, okay? And to mis hermanos y hermanas y tíos y tías y abuelitos y abuelitas, oigan, aprendan el inglés y ponle Fox News, pendejos. Aprendan el inglés, por el amor de Dios. Paguen Univision y paguen Telementiras and vénganse acá. Start learning English. How about you start learning English watching Fox News? Turn off all Love Lucy. Turn off Ricky Ricardo, man. Hey, man, put it on. Put on Fox News. That's how you're going to learn English, man. Pero aprendan nuestro idioma en este país que es English. Learn it, love it, live it, and educate yourself.
Well, we've got OAN and we've got Newsmax as well. We've got other places, but you know,
OAN and Newsmax. Hey, absolutely.
Yes, they need to be hearing the truth. They need to be hearing the truth.
I agree with you 100%. Fox News is selling themselves out, man. I agree with you 100%.
I know it. I know it. And I know, listen, you're so passionate, Luchador. You're so passionate. They tell me I'm passionate. I think you're very passionate. But Glenn, I want to take it to you, Glenn. You know, what are you seeing in Florida as into what exactly are they doing, or you know, or what can we do to educate people when we have the system against us, you know, and donors, you know, out there that tell us that we're not going to give you money because you all don't vote. I'm like, I don't think that's true. We showed up. I mean, we increased the numbers from 2018 to 2020 to 2022. How can you tell us we don't vote? So Glenn, what is your I don't know, solution, or what are your thoughts on all of this?
You know, our own people sabotage us because to circle back to cleanup that I did with John Roque at Eagle Pass, I got interviewed by Univision and so did he, and they never posted it. Once they found out that we were conservatives, once they heard that I came from a conservative Central American mindset and I was against illegal immigration, they never returned our phone calls and never posted it. So they're not even letting our voices be heard in Spanish in the Spanish network, right? And I think that educating the people is very important too. But even our education system is sabotaging us, because I saw in the news with this, there's like a new Hispanic group in colleges that are now pushing Latinx, and they're saying that don't call each other Hispanics because that's colonization, and they don't want to do quinceañeras because that's colonization. Like they're trying to destroy our culture, you know.
Oh
so
my God.
Who's funding them? But who's funding them? The Democrat Party and George Soros is funding them. Let's be honest, man. Follow the money trail. They're funding them.
Yeah,
They just posted on the news that they're starting to investigate this Get Out the Vote organizations that were nothing but get out the Democrat votes. And realistically, all they were doing was registering people to vote by mail. And oh my God, what is vote by mail other than voter fraud? And I don't mean to interrupt you, sir, but that's exactly what's happening in our community. And they're doing the same thing. They're going out, they're registering our people to vote, and they're going to do mail-in ballots again. Here's going to come the flu virus again. Just watch. Ahí viene.
That's true, because in 2016, when I did an event, we were obviously advocating for Trump. We went to an event that says for Hispanics to help Hispanics, and both Democrats and Republicans. When I showed up, guess what? Phil Murphy was talking in New Jersey. They made fun of Trump. They did a video making fun of Trump, and they were putting stickers on everyone just to get pictures with Latinos. It had nothing to do with helping Hispanics. It had nothing to do with the
Nothing.
immigration issue. It was just funded by the Democrats just to get pictures of us, because that's what they use us for. Just get pictures of us with stickers and bands, and they can post it and say we're supporting the Hispanics, which they're not. Because even to the one of the reasons why I even left Jersey was Phil Murphy was putting rain tax on their citizens. Believe it or not, look it up. It's insane. But that also goes back to your question: what can we do? Well, if the news is not helping us, if the colleges are not helping us, our own people are sabotaging us, then what can we do? It's got to be gospel marketing. We got to talk. We got to go out there, just like you're preaching the word of God, right? You got to just talk the good news, man. Just talk to the people from the pulpits, even though the pulpits sometimes, preach the left agenda, which is another thing too. So even these churches that are one single issue churches that just focus on illegal immigration and vote Democrat, they're destroying the congregation. They're destroying the community by doing that. We have to educate them, and we have to have these people have the courage to come out and say, no, I'm Republican, I'm conservative. And I say that to a certain extent because the Republicans have to earn our R. They have to earn that title from us. So when I talk to people, I tell them I'm conservative. The Republicans have to earn that R. So we have to just educate our people from the roots, because that's where it begins.
You're exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
Real
No,
real quick, guys. Hispanics, we are a community. We are a community oriented people, right? We're also based on loyalty, right? Loyalty goes a long way with us, right? Do you know why Hispanics, and I'm one of them, cannot stand the Republican Party? I love Trump. Don't get me wrong. Trump is my guy, 100%. But you know what completely turns me off with the Republican Party? And why Hispanics go to Democrats? I'm going to tell you one thing. It's the loyalty that they see. They see Democrats always rally around themselves and defend themselves and support themselves. Meanwhile, they see Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and all of the Republican establishment backstab each other just like they did Trump. Okay? Who in the hell is going to, if you're Hispanic and you see that disloyalty, you see that constant backstabbing, you see that, right?
right.
Who in the hell would ever call themselves a Republican if you're Hispanic? I wouldn't, and I don't. I'm a conservative, constitutional conservative American, and I will vote for whoever will stand side by side with me and defend freedom for everybody.
I like that. I like that. So Rolando, what do you think? What do you think it's going to take to get? I mean, what is it going to take? How are we going to educate our communities when our own, as Glenn says, our own work against us? Our own people. When the party has typically, worked against us. And the donors don't want to fund efforts to get out the vote for our
The
community.
white donors, because there
Let
are
me
no
say,
Hispanic donors.
that's right. That's right. So it's a certain class. I'm not going to say all the donors. I should take that back. It's not all the donors, because we do have some very good donors. We really do. But with the small that we have, you know how many Hispanic communities out there we got to go and touch? So Rolando, what is your take? What do you think? What is it going to take?
Yeah, thank you, Bianca. You know what? That's a hard question, Bianca. Very hard. Because uh, uh, it looks like everything. I mean, everything is against us, even our own party. Okay, we want to do the right thing, but our vision is to save the nation and to teach our community to vote the right way, to honor God with their vote, to vote against abortion. I mean, just doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we can have our own party against us for one reason, because the vision of the establishment is for themselves
Yes.
to be in power all the time. When
Bravo.
they see other people raising up, they think that we're gonna move them from their throne. That's what they have in their mind. They do not know how to work as a team. We should be a team and work as a team. And when we learn to fight for one another, that's when we are going to conquer. But many people don't have that in their spirit. That comes from the heart. That's a
Right.
vision that only comes from God. So, what I can say is that we need to pray to God for all these people so their eyes can be open, so they don't look at grassroots, so they won't look at you and me and all of us together as competition, but as part, of a team that together we can do greater things.
Yes.
And they do not look at this fight that way. They are in the political realm, like Trump said once, for themselves, not for you
Yes.
and for me, not for the community. And that's a shame. But we cannot stop, Bianca. We cannot stop.
Well, we
Little by
have
little. Uh-huh.
no, I want to thank our Getter audience. We're rolling up on almost 700 live viewers on Getter. So I always say Getter's better. They don't censor us. That's the problem. On Getter, they don't censor us. There's actually people that want to know what we're saying, what we're thinking, what we got to say, our perspective. And I thank all our Getter audience for rolling in, strongly, almost hitting. We're almost at 700. We're at 693 right now. So we're rolling up on 700, and I want to thank y'all for tuning in and listening to what we have to say. Facebook, I'm banned on Facebook, so Facebook says I'm banned from doing lives for 15 days because as God knows what I posted a year ago. They claim
That's
I broke
okay.
community standards a year ago.
I was banned from Facebook, and I've been banned on Twitter 6 times when it was Twitter. 6 times. I had to make up 6 different accounts, for God's sakes.
Yeah, just because we have something to say and they
All
fear
right.
us. We're the majority minority, and Lord forbid, we're saying anything.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
because we don't follow the lockstep. We don't walk in lockstep like liberal fascists want us to do, all right? That's why. That's
yeah.
why we're still
So
independent. And getting back to what Rolando said, he's 100% right. The establishment is the problem. The establishment
Yeah.
is the problem, man. And the moment anybody tries to speak up, the moment everybody, the establishment will go. This is what I'm talking about, the lack of unity. Rolando hit it on the head, dude. And when Hispanics don't see that, we're a gregarious people, man. Hispanics, nuestra cultura, we're gregarious. We like seeing everybody unified. We like seeing everybody supporting each other, right? We like seeing that. We see that as a safety net, right? We see that as, hey, man, me quieres esquina? Yeah, yo te tengo esquina, vato. Órale, vato. Let's go, man.
Yeah.
And then when they
well,
see,
that's
when they
true.
that's true,
That's
man.
true.
And then when they see the Republicans immediately turn against each other and everything, that's the Lindsey Graham and McConnell, La Tortuga, McConnell, and all those vatos, man, they need to go, man. I've had it with those guys. I really have had it with those guys. But also going back to what my hermanos here have said, man, you know what? There's one thing, man. I remember my grandfather, my uncles, and my father taught me to always speak up. And I always spoke up. I was always the one getting sent to the principal's office. I was always the one getting in trouble with the teachers because I spoke up. But I spoke up out of intelligence, not out of ignorance, out of intelligence. Because
Right.
there's one thing I remember that all of my grandparents and my uncles say, el que no habla, ni Dios no oye. El
Wow.
que no habla,
Powerful.
ni Dios lo oye. So speak up, man. If you see
Yeah.
something wrong, speak up, man. If you're a Democrat, unfortunately, if you still vote Democrat, if even after all of these pendejadas, you're still going to vote Democrat, but you hear a Democrat saying something that's against your corazon, against your ethics, against your belief, speak up, man. Say something. Don't just sit there like a pendejo. Don't just sit there like a tuna on a cactus and not do something about it or say something about it.
Right.
Speak up, man.
Right.
Speak up, okay? Because look, man, I am a George Washington American. And you know why I say that? Because George Washington abhorred and warned us about political parties. We are right now in the middle of the nightmare that George Washington warned us about in his farewell speech. I want every single American to read George Washington's farewell speech where he warned us about the evils and treachery and corruption that a party system would develop into in the United States of America,
Mhm.
especially under a republic. He warned us of that. And tell me if we're not living that right now.
We
Yeah,
are.
absolutely.
We are. So, Glenn, what I know you travel recently to El Salvador, or there's a movement in Salvador in the country for conservatism. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What do the people in El Salvador think of America right now?
So just to add real quick on luchadores, one thing I like about loyalty is that our handshake still means something in our culture, and and that's our word. So I just wanted to add that, and then real quick before I answer your question, Bianca, on Rolando, it is demoralizing when you see Republicans vote for more money to Ukraine. It's not like we're not all in this together, right?
Yes,
That should stay here. But
yes.
I just wanted to get those two notes out. But in El Salvador, we have I created a conservative movement called Estamos Unidos por la Patria (EUP), which I'm the leader of, and it's pretty much the concept is the American dream and created into the Salvadorian dream, in hopes that they don't have to come here through that illegal process. They can stay in the United States because there's opportunity. I can stay in El Salvador because there's opportunities, which there is right now, and it's grown. But what do they think about us right now? You know how embarrassing it is when they say something about pronouns and they say something about
Oh,
homosexuality, and they go, "Oh
yeah.
no, no, that's America stuff." Yeah, I know how embarrassing that is.
Oh,
Wow,
No,
yeah.
they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
no,"
that's American stuff.
No,
because
no, no. That's white liberal American stuff. That's white
but
liberal
they put
pendejada.
it
That's what
all
that
in
is,
the
man.
same nutshell. They put it all in the same nutshell because no andan con eso. They're not with any of that language. You can't even have gay marriage in El Salvador and in a lot of other places as well. That's not even in like imagine putting that narrative that they're putting for the kids about gender identity in any South American or Central American country. It's not going to happen. Even the left over there are against abortion. You know what I mean? So it's this different. It's still
Okay.
conservative core. They're still like JF Kennedy Democrats to a certain extent. You know, so it's what they think about us in other countries. Man, it's sad.
But
It's sad.
Glenn, the reason why the left in El Salvador are against abortion is because right now it's not politically profitable for them in the culture that they currently live in, right? To
Mhm.
be for abortion. Does that make sense? Don't look.
Well,
The liberals are opportunistic. They will say and do anything. If you don't believe me, just look at Gavin Newsom now. Look at Gavin Newsom now, man. That guy has destroyed California single handedly, right? But all of a sudden, because he's positioning himself to take over Biden, right? When Biden se va a caer otra vez y se va a chocar la madre, and then he's not going to be able to run anymore, Gavin Newsom all of a sudden is speaking like a centrist after everything he's done to California. Why? Because he's an opportunistic. So ten cuidado, mi hermano. Ten cuidado with what they
oh,
say.
absolutely. You
Don't
know,
give them,
que me di cuenta también in El Salvador is that they are trying to bring that narrative to El Salvador, and guess who's funding it? We found out, and I'm not going to drop names, but they found that there's people in here in the United States that are Democrats, senators, and congressmen that are funding that type of mindset. And that's what we're fighting. It's a
oh yeah.
cancer. It's a
Is it
cancer.
AOC? I guarantee it's probably AOC's behind it somewhere, man.
That's right. That's right. I think I love that this perspective. I saw a video in Mexico. Parents were actually burning the nasty books. They don't want them in their schools.
Yep.
I'm
That's
like, this
good.
is, yeah. So this is what they're afraid of. This is what they're afraid of, is that the Hispanics, if we emerge into the scene here for America, and we are the people that stand up for America conservatively,
Yes.
just to be sane, right? To the
Yes.
sanity. And,
Yes.
and I think they're afraid that, oh, Lord forbid, the Hispanics shame the white people because
Yes.
they've gone so liberal. I
Yes.
mean, They
It's
don't
not the
expect
same.
it from us. We're just
It's not the
supposed to
same.
be the weed eater and the cleaners of the houses. We're not supposed to be, you know,
Yeah.
having any kind of real jobs. Nobody ever talks about the Cuban engineer who designed the skyline of New York. Nobody talks about that. Just like they don't talk about the people that the Medal of Honors, luchador. Same thing.
Oh,
We get no
they ignore
credit.
us.
We're supposed to be on the weed whacker and the
They
cleaning lady.
ignore us. They
That's it.
ignore us. Mira, okay, mi hermana y mis hermanos, I'm gonna have to go here. I gotta go train some more of the luchadores right now, man. But oye, look, man. Right now is Hispanic Heritage Month, right?
Yep.
And this is all because of El Grito, right?
Right.
Where Father Hidalgo, who was inspired completely by the Black Robe Regiment that was instrumental in the American Revolutionary War, did El Grito for freedom throughout Latin America. And that inspired the people, El Pueblo, to rise up, right? In the beginning, the rich were against the rising up of El Pueblo. Because why? They had all the money, they had all the power, right? Up until they saw that they could no longer keep control. So what did they do? They came on board and they started supporting them as long as they kept their haciendas and their what? Wealth. That's what we're confronted with when we talk about the Republican Party. They'll say they're for us. They'll say that as long as what Rolando and Glenn said, as long as they maintain their what? Power
Power.
and wealth. Does that make sense, guys? Let
Mm-hmm.
us learn from history what we are confronted with. We are confronted with an establishment that is corrupt, and all they care about is keeping things the same because they're the ones who profit from that. Okay? The Republican Party under Ronald McDaniel, Romney, is 100% in it for the money and money only. I have heard from people I know that are donors how she relishes all of this gifts, thank you gifts, $1,000 bottles of wine and champagne, right? And they're like, why are you giving us this? Their own donors are like, why are you giving us this? Why aren't you using this money to go out there and fight the fight? That's who Ronald McDaniel Romney is. Okay? That's the establishment right there in a picture right there so that everybody understands this vicious cycle that we're under the establishment that is today's Republican Party. And that is why, man, I am so afraid for this coming election because the establishment rules. And on the other side, the insane rule. So we're stuck between corruption and insanity, literally, man. We as a people, we as Hispanics and America, who can think for themselves, who have not indoctrinated, who have not become completely ideologues, they see this too. So what's the answer? I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you what the answer is, but it's not a good word. All I can see here, honestly, is the same situation that Cromwell was facing in England when he had a corrupt king and an even more corrupt chamber of politicians. And what did Cromwell do? Well, we may need an American Cromwell to rise up and save America for America's sake. I'm out. I gotta go. God bless you. Que Dios los bendiga. I love y'all. Un abrazo a todos.
Un abrazo, luchador. God bless you.
Peace
God
out,
bless you.
luchador. We'll see you next time. Man, he's hardcore, man. He's OG. He's OG. He don't play around.
He needs his own theme music.
He does. He does. He does. Guys, I mean, he's he's got his perspective, and I think that right now during Hispanic Heritage Month, there should be more celebrations going on. I was talking to a cooking team, and they said, look, we normally charge $10 to $12 a head when we do, briskets, cooking, come out there and cook. they're like, "It's killing us because we're having to charge $20 a head right now because we can't make it. We can't even buy the meat for what it was costing us before." People are really hurting in our communities, and it's supposed to be the month of, us celebrating our own culture, and people are barely making it. Um, how in the world again, how is it that we're going to overcome this hump from, the Republican Party, the RNC, and Univision and Telemundo, and then some of those donors that tell us they don't want to fund us because we don't vote? I mean, how are we really truly going to overcome this? Glenn, we've got a lot of work to do. I think Florida has actually set a standard, to be honest. I really think that the Cubans, Nicaraguans, El Salvadorians, the Venezuelans, the Colombianos in Florida are setting the standard for the rest of the country about saving this country, conservatism, everything that's on the line for us right now. Florida, we're looking to Florida. Everybody used to say we got to look to Texas, and I'm not seeing that right now. I'm seeing that we have to look to Florida. So, what else is resonating right now within Floridians? Our conservative movement in Florida. What is going to be the message coming out of Florida for 2024? Because we've got to get it together, and we're going to get it together really fast.
Well, unity. The stronger that we all come together, the stronger our voice. The stronger that we make them work for that Republican title they want us to wear, the stronger, the more they're going to pay attention to us. You got to put God first. Like Rolando says, we have to pray because only God can save this nation. We have to do that. We have to do the work. But if we really join together, because again, sometimes within our own people, we sabotage. Even in the conservative movement, we sabotage each other. We got to give each other a platform. We have to give each other an opportunity. We have to unite. If there's events that we're pulling, kind of like cellulas in churches that they do at houses or whatever, we have to support the cause. Because if we don't do that, then the whole movement it's not going anywhere. And here in Florida, you put in an event for conservatives. There's flags waving. There's people out on the streets. There's music. There's dancing. There's unity. People are bringing their own food. It's everyone's about it here. So when I used to fly back in Florida for my trips, and then I would drive down and I see the flag waving, the big Trump flags. I'm like, I'm home. Right? This is home. This is like the heartbeat of the conservative movement here in Florida. We're holding the line, and that is in a lot of other places in the United States. They just have to rise up, speak up, and not be afraid. So it just we have to get together as a people like we do here, and then have our voice heard. Do events, right? It's not always about the cause. If we're gonna do an event, don't charge $500 or $100 to do an event. Do grassroots, right? When we do church events, ¿qué hacemos? Everyone brings their food. Everyone just comes. The preacher preaches. It's pretty much the same type of grassroots movements when it comes to what we're trying to make people aware of. Is this conservative movement is come together as a people, let our voices be heard, right? And not really
Right.
trying to stop each other or block each other from that. And I think that's one of the issues that we have as well as the Hispanic community that we have to stop.
That's good. That's good stuff. Rolando, what do you think? Rolando is one of the actual founder of the Trump train in the whole nation. What do you think that we can do, to prepare ourselves and to prepare our communities, to get out the vote, register voters? What else do you think that we can put forth?
Bianca, I really think that uh, we cannot stop working. We need to share the message, multitudes of people, even to one person, even to one. You never know that if you share, like in a restaurant, to one person or anywhere, I mean, what that person will do in their family, how they will spread the word out there in the family. So we cannot underestimate anybody. And we need to have faith that God is on our side and that we will be able to, overcome all these dark cloud against us. Uh, and I think this is the
Mhm.
perfect moment in history and in life, to do what we have to do. I really believe, Bianca, that and Glenn, that God created us for such a time as this. We have a call. We have a special calling from God, and we need to hang, from believing that. And you seen it, Bianca. I mean, ever since you came to the Rio Grande Valley, in opposition to the Republican Party, because they told you not to come, south of San Antonio. And now the Rio Grande Valley is playing, a big uh, uh, role nationwide. We still have to continue working in the Rio Grande Valley. I am aware of that, but the Rio Grande Valley is not the same one as it used to be. Thanks to this lady from Pasadena, Texas, that came back in 2017 to McAllen. So we have to continue pushing forward. I would love, Bianca and Glenn, if you have the contact, Bianca, or you, Glenn. I've been praying about this, and I'm gonna open my heart. But I would love to be the person in charge to run Trump's campaign in South Texas. If that could be possible, believe me, believe me, I will invite my friends from Florida, and I will bring all Latinos for Trump to South Texas, and we will make South Texas great again, and we will make the nation great again. But we need the approval of Trump's people somewhere in his office, or in his campaign. They need to know who we are, what we have done, and I am sure, Bianca, that with an approval of Trump's campaign officially saying Rolando is the one in South Texas, moving Trump's campaign, we will make America great again, and we will fix America again. I believe that with all of my heart. So pray for me and pray for this matter.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Absolutely. We are definitely going to be doing that. We're going to have to be doing a lot of prayer. I certainly am working with the faith leaders. I think the faith leaders is always pivotal. It's how I get into the community and work my way out. I've always done that. The faith leaders are really at the forefront. They are the leaders of La Comunidad. And so I believe that our faith leaders are going to be the ones that really come through for us.
Yeah.
You're right. For such a time as this, we will definitely be in prayer. I think our group has been here from the forefront or from the since the beginning of 2016 when we
Mhm.
started this organic grassroots movement for Trump, and it wasn't easy, and it wasn't, and people, threw bottled waters at us, called us all kinds of names. It was not easy to come out for Trump in 2016, but we're standing strong. Here we are in 2023, and we're now finally getting recognized. We really are. We're getting recognized for all our hard work. I want to say the Republican of Texas, the Republican Party of Texas now is going to move to accept us, as a organization now, and I think that they can no longer ignore us, and they see that Hispanics are coming out in record numbers, applying to run for office. They can't get rid of us. We are getting stronger, and so I think that we have made it's taken us what 7 years, but here we are. And now I think we're going to break into the scene. I keep saying this, guys. I keep saying Hispanics are the game changers, history makers that will save this country. I really truly believe that in my heart. If we continue to work hard, if we continue to unite, like you said, Glenn, I think we really will be the game changers. So, any last words today? This was kind of a spontaneous thing for me. I normally would go live on Fridays or Sunday nights, but today was a special day. I was on One America News and on Newsmax talking about the border, Bidenomics, and the support for Trump and the Hispanics that are, leaving the Democrat Party and coming in numbers over to the Republican Party. So, any last words from you, Glenn?
Just to people that are watching, that keep spreading the word, keep talking to your family members about the political movement, keep talking to them about their conservative values, and help them wake up to see what's going on right now. Because believe it or not, the conservative voice is now considered the radical voice, the revolutionary voice, because that now the normancy is not normal anymore, right? They used to be the opposite, the other way around. So now when just simple things like a man can't have a baby, now that's not radical anymore. Now that's you know what I mean? It's the upside down. So we have to let them know that that's true. That's really stuff that's being put out there through the left's narratives. So just educate, keep talking, because that's really how you spread it. I'm not going to hear it from the news that much, or even from the pulpit or some other people. It's really you, the individual, that can educate your family on
That's right.
the movement.
Amen to that. And Glenn, thank you and welcome to our Latinos for Trump, Latinos for America First family. We are so excited to have you as our PR spokesperson for Florida and for Central America. And I had someone reach out to me the other day, and I think it's Vox Media or Volks Media or something of the sort. And I told them that they needed that I was going to, have them interview you with their Spanish media. And so I need to put you in communication with her. So hopefully we can get you on there, speaking out, about just our movement and the conservatism, everything that's going on right now in our country. So Rolando, any last words on you from you?
Yes, Bianca, thank you so much. And yeah, what really hurts me in my heart, Bianca, is knowing that many ministers, pastors, specifically pastors and the Christian community, when they go out there and they vote for abortion, they vote for all this gay movement because they do not investigate. They don't know what's going on in the country. They have been for years inside the four walls of the church, and they think they are doing the right thing, but they're really not.
Yeah.
My message is for them. They need to be more open, to listen to the grassroots movements, and to understand what is going on in the political realm, because the 2024 election could be the last one in the nation, or it could be the first one to win. Uh, you know, that will be hard to win. As many others, that will come, but I mean, it'll be just like a fight between good and evil.
That's
But
right.
if we are able to take this message to the Christian community, to the pastors, it will be a lot easier, Bianca, for us to win any other election. So
Well, it's time
my
for
prayer that they will open their eyes and just jump in, the boat and help us.
Well, it's definitely time for revival. That's what I think we need. We need revival in the Hispanic community with a godly message and waking everybody up to the, anti-biblical laws that are being passed and promoted and advocated by, the leftists and the takeover. And I think it's time. It's time for a revival. So I'm excited that I get to work with you guys and excited, for the things to come. And again, I think this is it's a time if you guys know of anybody else that wants to get involved in our movement and get involved with our organization, please let me know. We need to have more voices, more people, and I want to start doing these podcasts. I need to get back on it. The Freedom Network has been asking me. They're like, hey, get me your stuff, because they want to start putting us on their stream as well. So let's start working on going live more often. So I thank you guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
All
Can
right.
I give you a question? 1 second.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó?
To the live show in TikTok. There are so many shows in TikTok against us, against Trump, and against the conservative movement. And what I heard is that they are paid by you know who, by the left, someone real high in the left. So if we would go, in more platforms like TikTok and maybe some other platforms, just share the right message to the people, that would be awesome.
Yes. We'll definitely investigate that. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to our Getter family out there. I'm sure that this is going to get posted from the YouTube. It's going to go to the Rumble account. So please share our message and visit latinosforamerica1st.com if you want to donate to get involved for candidates, right? That's where we support our candidates. And latinosforamerica1st.org. That's where it's our organization. That's the efforts where we have all of our, education, training, mentoring, everything that we're doing. If you want to help out, if you want to get involved, definitely reach out to us. Okay. And we will have someone contact you back.
Also, November 15th, they can donate for our Border Appreciation Day.
That's right. For almost, yes. November 15th, yes. We are going to I'm glad you brought that up. So November 15th, we're going to go feed our Border Patrol agents in Brownsville. And then on top of that, the Trump Latinos that have just broken out into the, hip hop scene with their, rap songs are going to come out and join us. They're actually going to write a song for us, and we're going to come film in the Rio Grande Valley. We're going to film our own video with our own hip hop song. So they're coming to join us as well. So guys, please, a lot of exciting things are happening. Thanks, Glenn, for reminding us on that. So visit latinosforamerica1st.org if you want to help out in donating for the Border Patrol that we're going to do, that we're going to honor them for Veterans Day is that November 11th. And so we're going to go feed the Border Patrol agents. And that's been something that we've done since 2019. So guys, visit latinosforamerica1st.org to help out with that initiative. So thanks, Glenn, for reminding me about that. And guys, have a awesome Taco Tuesday today. Go make some tacos today and celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, because no matter what is going on in this country and no matter how Biden has totally destroyed our country, we Latinos we figure out a way to make things work. Like Rolando said, even if you have to go sell tamales out of your car, you're going to make sure the bills get paid. And that's where we're survivors, man. We are survivors and we're victors. Right. So guys, thank you so much for coming on Stand Up, Stand Out America, on a special, today on Taco Tuesday. I think maybe that's when we should do our shows. We should do them on Tuesdays, guys. I think Taco Tuesday is a good day to definitely commemorate what's going on. But thank you all so much.
God bless you.
Share our stream. So as I always say,
thank you,
peace
Bianca.
out.
Thank you, Glenn. God bless you all.
Rolando, Bianca, take care.